Abu Faze, baby. Slim Al picked up a knockout victory over Faze Temperrr last night, and it was a really awesome performance. I'm pretty sure this puts Slim at now a 4-0 record and 4 KOs or TKOs. All of his fights have come by way of finish. And in the world of YouTube boxing, that's pretty impressive to do, especially when you're fighting in other promotions with like 14-ounce gloves on, so, and headgear. So respect to Slim for that. But yeah, we're just gonna jump in and break this down. I think there was some technical things that Slim did in this one that surprised me personally, and probably will surprise a lot of people when I show you guys and explain every single thing that did happen in this fight. He showed a real awareness in the ring that I think is underrated, and he showed some like legitimate types of feints and setups that are unique, and you don't see a ton, but they're smart setups that are good to use against these lower level guys. One of the first things that Slim did that kind of surprised me and earned respect of Faze Temperrr right away was the constant feints and head movement that Slim showed. So he would come out and just some over-exaggerated out-of-range head movement. However, he was moving his body slightly forward. He was moving the shoulders slightly forward with every feint. And obviously he's coming in here. Temperrr looks to parry with the lead hand, but he's quick enough to get right by it and here. But one thing that I think he earned the respect of Faze Temperrr was, or how he earned that respect right away off the rip, was utilizing that exaggerated head movement from out of range, because he was so quick with it that Temperrr had to respect it. So right away, one thing we see Slim start to do right here is this crashing into the clinch. Here it looked like he might have been in a little bit of trouble. However, earlier parts and later on in the fight, this is what set up a lot of the big shots. So he would crash into the clinch here and obviously, try and tie up, but they created moments like this because the way he would feint inside the clinch. He would feint low, like he was gonna either jab to the body or right straight to the body or clinch. It had Temperrr thinking about a lot of things, and this is what he does right here and cracks him. The way he moves in here with this left hand here, Temperrr's thinking, oh, he's not just gonna fire a naked right, he's breaking into the clinch. He doesn't like the position that I put him in, so I'm gonna look to clinch, and he kind of moves in and just gets cracked by right, and that was one of the big first moments in this fight for Slim, and it showed how he was really conditioning with the clinch work. And right there, this is the first instance of Slim throwing the combination and the setup that hurt Temperrr at the start. So here we have him go to the clinch, and then watch the way he does this. He goes to the left. He sees this exposed, and this is where he starts to realize that Temperrr, this moment right here, he sees Temperrr leaves himself very, very exposed as he exits the clinch. And this was one of the points in the fight that Slim realized and started to see the setup for the finish. And then we move on just a couple seconds later, and this moment right here really is how Slim sets up the finish. So they're out of range, and he's setting up this looping right hook to come around to get into range and crash into the clinch, which is also how he sets up the finish. So from right here, he loops this around. Temperrr partially blocks it. It gets around arguably to the back of the head. And from right here, they're in this neutral position. Slim's maybe a bit too squared. Temperrr's not squared enough inside this clinch. So Temperrr right away is looking to go for this neutral position in the clinch. He wants to bring this hand around here as Slim's hand is around here. And then he can fight for grips, or really in boxing, fight to get out of this clinch or fight to dirty box and utilize this hand to pull the head down. There's so much you can do with the position. So he moves it here, and Slim recognizes it. So Slim moves with the hand and pushes it off, utilizing his head, and this is very, very smart. He's also pulling on this side. As you can see, he's pulling on this side, so Temperrr's off balance, so he's not going to be as strong here. So Slim sees the opening. Temperrr, the hand comes off, and fair enough for Temperrr, he starts to bring it back, but not fast enough. He's off balance. Slim's taking a step back, so he's not on balance either, but he lands this glancing blow, and if Slim's on balance here, he arguably would stop the fight. And then for most of the round, it's more of the same from Slim, in which we see him kind of starting from out of range, looping in with jumping in, looping in with shots, and just crashing inside the clinch, and really not getting too much done, but really starting to set things up. He's taking the underhook almost every time on this side, on the right side rather, or on this side of him. He's taking the underhook. On this side, he's taking the overhook. And we're going to see in that final exchange, he's going to switch it up on Temperrr, at least if my memory serves me correctly. But really, the rest of this round was pretty much this and some sloppy exchanges here. We also see Temperrr show a willingness to cover up and gain some confidence in his guard, but can't really take it as the fight goes on, as you'll see in a sec. The final moment of this round that I would like to highlight is here. Another moment where Slim is crashing into the clinch. This shows some decent IQ inside the clinch. Temperrr is getting his hips back, which you don't really need to do in boxing. It's not like he's going to shoot it on a takedown. However, he gets the hips back and fires these underhooks right away, which is very smart. However, the lower Slim goes here, it brings Temperrr's focus lower down on Slim's body. So he starts to weigh on him more in the clinch and move back, and then we get into positions like this where he's exposed as he exits the clinch. Moving to the second round, we have a lot more crashing into the clinch from Slim once again, and not really much breaking off the clinch, really conditioning Temperrr to be comfortable inside the clinch. But one thing we do notice and see from Slim here, he's instantly going in and establishing double unders. Temperrr has the double overs, but he's instantly going in and establishing the double underhooks. Now this is going to make a great opportunity for him to move this hand up, be able to move Temperrr around in the clinch and weigh on him more than what he would be able to if he just had one under, one over. Now, this is the last moment that I'm going to highlight besides the finish and the setup to the finish. Right here is a very, very important moment for this fight. He breaks for the clinch right away. Now, Temperrr starts to see this because he's changing the levels. So Temperrr kind of reaches out and swings a right hook around, almost looking to catch double unders because he's been conditioned, or double overs rather, because he's been conditioned to just find those. Slim rolls around and comes up with a devastating right hook. I mean, this was a great moment for Slim. The lead hand of him in the southpaw stance is really something to behold. So he breaks for the clinch, comes around. Look at Temperrr's arms; they're both around, like he's waiting for this clinch. Slim knows that. And see, already he's looking to establish double unders. He was conditioned to grab double overs, so he's trying to establish himself in the clinch, find these double unders. That's something he's focused on in this moment. He's not thinking that Slim's going to come here. Even if he is, Slim, every time he kind of loops around, but just goes to the clinch. But no, boom, massive right hook. And this rocked Temperrr. Didn't put him on wobbly legs or anything, but this was a big moment. And as you can see, Slim knew it. And then this right here is the biggest and the final moment for obvious reasons. This is how Slim gets Faze Temperrr out of the ring. So he crashes in, or out of the ring with him. So he crashes in. Temperrr instantly looks to find this left uppercut that he likes to throw when someone crashes into the clinch, followed by a right uppercut, a lead uppercut, or a right hook, depending on what he's looking for. But anyways, Slim crashes into the clinch. So Temperrr, already he's going to be thinking, maybe look for an underhook, and that's why this goes here. He's looking for an uppercut, but he's mainly also looking for the under, and he needs to actually get out of range here when he's in this spot, but he doesn't. Slim squared, and Slim just fires this little, almost like a right, it was like a mixture between a right hook and a straight right, but Slim goes around, over, big amounts of damage done, and Temperrr didn't see it coming at all. This is what puts Temperrr on pretty wobbly legs. You can see the chicken dance he's starting to do. So now he's up against the ropes here, and I mean, the rest of this fight is pretty self-explanatory. Temperrr did a good job shelling up here, however, and as you can see, I mean, he was doing a good job just going straight for the clinch. Slim wasn't very accurate here, however, he was accurate when he needed to be. All right there. But here, he showed that he can be accurate when he needs to. He has this hand here pushing Temperrr back, which is going to keep him off him from the clinch, so the referee's not going to have to step in. And he's creating the space, and boom! And, I mean, you could see the look in Faze Temperrr's eyes. He's out of it. The fact that he even was able to get back to his feet that fast, and obviously the referee has to stop it. I know some people might not agree with that decision, i.e. the Faze Temperrr camp, but it was pretty obvious, at least to me, that Temperrr couldn't continue, because whenever you have a guy that goes to the floor like this and is looking like this with the hand so far back, and I mean, we could just look even from this. I mean, when you have a guy on the ground like this, he looks like he's contemplating getting in the ring ever again, or why he's even here. He doesn't look like he knows where he is, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's just confusion and pain in his eye. He doesn't really know what hit him. And yeah, that's how Slim got it done. That's how Slim Albaher, the Hitman, the biggest heel in YouTube boxing, second only to Jake Paul, how he got it done. And I hope you guys did enjoy this breakdown, this analysis of this entire fight. And yeah, Slim, what's next for him? I like the fight versus King Kenny. I also like the fight versus KSI. I also like the fight versus Faze Sensei. There's a lot of things to do with him. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, thanks for joining us.